first of all, just to kind of, again, for people that aren't familiar with what we're looking at here, to orient people, what we're looking at is we're looking at in column O, we're looking at the most recent industry group ranks. So we have 197 industry groups. I've been tracking them for the last few weeks. You can see in column D, we've got the Sparkline. The Sparkline just basically shows you kind of the trend of these stocks. And it looks like I did a copy and paste kind of in a weird way. I decided to move over my Sparkline over to, a little bit quick, so you can see it a little bit earlier. And then a lot of people ask about the colors. What's going on with the colors? Well, if you look at column O, you can see that things start out very green. So the higher you are in the rank, that means the stronger that group is. But then as you scroll down, you see how the green starts kind of getting a little yellow. Okay, well now you're in the lower part, and then it starts getting into the orange and red. Well, now you're really in the laggard groups. So that's what the color is. And then Chris was kind enough to kind of, as he was doing his screening this weekend, he was kind enough to put in some notable tickers in there. So a few things that we take a look at. Well, number one, I'll take a look at some of the areas where we're in those top groups. And maybe we've been coming up quite a bit. So look at that computer software design. I mean, that sticks out to me, that this is one that back in July, and that's in row 23.
Thank you.
Back in July, we were at 190, and now this is up to 22. So there's been a lot of movement in that computer software design area. So that's a group that kind of sticks out. You've got some of the medical products, those were a little bit weaker and have gotten stronger. That's in row 19. There you go. So that's an area that seems like it's been getting stronger. The media periodicals. Okay, so media periodicals, take a look at that in 34. So that went up from 163 back in July, and you see that's just been a steady climb. One of the things that I'll do also, if you just go a couple rows over, there's 3 stocks in there. You know what? Okay, forget it. It's so you have to kind of, again, sometimes be using different metrics here. So while media periodicals, that does come across as a very strong group, there's only 3 in there, and so really there's probably 1 stock that may be controlling that whole thing. Right. So that's not as meaningful. And by the way, we are looking at kind of doing some revamping of our industry groups. So stay tuned for that. So again, now we're kind of in an area now. We're getting into like the top 40. I always think of Casey Kasem's top 40. That's where you really want to be concentrating. We can do one more sort that I like to do is if you go a couple rows over. I also, put in there, okay, what is the 1-week move, the 3-month move, and the 6 months? So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just sort. Let's see who the biggest movers were. So sort that in descending order. And so you see, what moved up the most. Okay, 39. That was the finance public investment. So I think that's like bond ETFs or something. Well, gosh, that's interesting. Bonds were the one that came up the most. Retail home furnishings. Well, you know what, we saw a number of stocks like RH and Tempur Sealy, TPX. So okay, that makes sense. Internet network solutions, I mentioned that one. Retail specialty, there were a lot of retail stocks that we were looking at. Leisure products, that jumped up quite a bit, and Yeti is in there. That was looking interesting. The bank super regional, SIVB, we've been talking about that stock, and that's in row 16. So that jumped up a lot. Now, again, this is one that's in the lower half of the groups, but one to maybe take a look at. You can spend some time, playing around with this spreadsheet. It's something that we do post every week.
We do.
So, you put that in the IBD Live FAQ. So it's got its own little link there. So you can show people where they can find that. Yep, there we go. So that's where you'll find it. After the show, we'll post that, and you can kind of do your own little playing around with it. But again, keep in mind, one of the things that might be a little challenging with this week's is we're starting the week off with some rotation here. So you might have to look at some of those areas in yellow and orange that have some setups in them. Note the notable tickers that Chris, spent his Sunday populating, because if he's going to do the work for you, you might as well take advantage of it.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching Investors Business Daily on YouTube. If you want to watch more videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.